Hello, listeners, and welcome to the Geeks by Gaslight Podcast, the show you need to listen to in geek culture. I'm your host, Carroll, and we've got a pretty good show for you this month. First joining us, we have the writer of Comic Critical, Jré Best.
Hey, welcome. Wait, fuck up. I fucked up.
What'd you do?
I said welcome when what?
No, yeah,
I'm not a host.
No, you can welcome people. That's a thing.
Okay, all right.
That's now. Also, we have for you, the lead editor of the podcast, Guthrie Schooner.
Bush did 9/11.
Okay. All right, starting off, fucking back in the fucking boots.
Wait, we're keeping that in?
Yes.
Good. I wanted at least one of my hot takes to actually get in.
Good. Guthrie's coming out swinging.
Yep.
Anyway.
No, Bush didn't actually do 9/11. Don't worry.
Who did?
Who else? Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh God. Anyway, first let's start off by getting into the trailers of. First off, Aquaman got its second big trailer, and it happened.
It really did.
It was a trailer, all right.
You can definitely say, without a shadow of a doubt, that Aquaman, the trailer, happened. Not the movie yet, but the trailer.
I mean, what's going to be next? The Flash trailer?
The
Flashpoint trailer. Or wait, no, it's Flash again.
Remember?
No, honestly, why didn't we just pee on this whole podcast? Why don't we just pee on everything to solve all our problems?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did, just now. Bush did 9/11. I'm metaphorically peeing on the podcast.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay, so that was the weird part about this trailer, is that I like most things around Aquaman, but Aquaman just seems like a douche.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Aquaman's a Chad. They finally made him cool. Remember in Batman Brave and the Bold, where Aquaman was like, "Hello, I am the heroic Aquaman," and I'm like, "Yeah, I bet all of your kids are half fish."
Yeah, actually, they finally fixed Aquaman by making him fucking like a dumb asshole, like we all like who can't think of anything like intelligent to say, so he just says, "What a fucking 80-year-old fucking pension like victim." Did I say pension victim?
You said pension victim.
Yeah, and victimized by that pension, right?
Yeah. Keep that in.
Exactly.
I can't fucking talk, but let's keep it in.
All of this is staying. All of this.
Yeah.
There's not a single thing that's going to be cut from since we started recording.
Yeah. Except my multiple racist tirades.
Exactly. That was a good.
By the end of this podcast, they're gonna be calling me the new JonTron.
Oh. What happened to the old JonTron? Oh wait.
What actually happened to the old JonTron?
Here's the thing, Aquaman. Here's the thing. I thought that the casting of Jason Momoa was a good idea. Now I feel kind of stupid.
Only someone was telling you that was a stupid idea. Fucking when they announced it.
Look, here's the thing. I still think that doing an Aquaman movie, you had the right idea, but you just couldn't resist making it stupid. I do think you needed to cast somebody who could be a little bit more convincing in that role. And I thought Jason Momoa could be that guy, but he's just a little bit too. And
bad.
Bad. And he is part Pacific Islander, so I thought maybe that could be sort of some of the influence of the aesthetics, but then they did not go down that route at all.
Oh,
yeah, he looks like a fucking surfer dude, crossbred with one of the crossbred with a BMX biker.
Yeah, I thought that I thought that sort of going for a Pacific Islander angle would be a cool angle to hit the aesthetics of Atlantis, but then they didn't.
Yeah.
And instead, they went the Star Wars Episode 1, the Phantom Menace route.
It looks like Phantom Menace. And, and I'm going to say this. Even though everyone was like, he's wearing the comic suit. The comic suit looked bad. I'm not going to lie. It really looked bad on him.
Like, that's my thing. I don't think it looks good on him, but that really, what showed me is like, man, you like made a really like nice looking comic accurate suit. If only you got like an actor who like fit it, and because it looks really weird on him.
Yeah, I don't think. Look, I think the old Aquaman suit, the one from what? And look, I still think that one looked a little cosplay-y, you know? Like, it didn't really look super... Like, it almost looked a little too accurate, in my opinion. I think they could have settled down on the colors just a little bit. And I'm not even sure we're going to see that suit in the movie. Because they cut a lot of scenes like those. But, yeah. I am not... I'm feeling a little bit I'm feeling a little dummy because I was confident in this one, and I like the director, but I don't think this is going to be good. We've got a couple other trailers, including the second trailer for Dragon Ball Super Broly, which is good on every level except the story.
I don't know. It did some fucking hideous CGI asteroids too.
Okay, the CGI,
like 0 on the story, 0 on the asteroids.
0 on asteroids. The weird CGI Frieza ships looked good-ish. The texture was a little oddly realistic, but whatever. Yeah, here's the problem with Dragon Ball Super Broly's sort of angle. Is that they're not drawing... They're sort of... Okay, if you've ever seen the Bardock special, Bardock Father of Goku, you know that Bardock is not really a hero, per se. He's just kind of like this thuggish brute who gets a premonition of what's to come, and he wants to, save his life. But he's not a good person. And that's sort of the character that, was first introduced to the fans, and that's why we all liked him so much, is that he wasn't a hero. But ever since, there seems to have been a big confusion on the part of both, Toei and Shueisha, but especially Akira Toriyama, on how to approach that character. Because a couple years back, at I believe the end of the Jackal the Galactic Patrolman manga, Akira Toriyama wrote an exclusive chapter called Dragon Ball Minus, where he told his interpretation of the Bardock special and the events leading up to the destruction of the Saiyans. And it differed in very significant ways to the Bardock special. One key factor being Bardock, we get introduced to Goku's mother, who is not very Saiyan-like. She's very sort of domestic and docile and very Toriyama woman-ish, you know how he sort of writes this sort of like mousy housewife?
Yeah.
It's sort of like that. That was Gine. And so it sort of felt a little bit undercutting of Bardock's character. And instead of, Goku being sent, it sort of portrayed the Saiyans as less Bardock. And instead of Goku being sent off to Earth to conquer it as a baby, basically they're like, hey, remember how Superman happened? How his parents sent him off and it was all meaningful and sad and wistful? Yeah, they just kind of stole that. And it was much less impactful. It gives Goku and Bardock's story this grand sense of purpose, which I feel really undercut his character. Now, that all being said, also Bardock knows about... He doesn't trust Frieza just off of a hunch. He's just like, I have a bad feeling about this Frieza guy.
Maybe these purple aliens with horns coming out of their head aren't good.
Yeah.
No, they are. They're just cooler, dude.
I mean,
his name is cooler. They're cooler than the Saiyans.
I guess transitive property. You're right. So yeah, it just sort of like, okay, first thing first, why does Bardock have this feeling when nobody else does? Because in the Bardock special, he had an incident that gave him psychic power, so he could see. He had like an actual reason to stake his life on his beliefs. but this just felt sort of wrong in a lot of ways. Now, all that being said, I like the Broly. I like all the Broly stuff. Them sort of intertwining Broly's origin with the origin of Goku and Vegeta, I think is smart. And makes him feel a little less disjointed and big, evil, muscular guy. And they're ditching the baby, which is fucking genius. Whoever thought of that in the first place should be dragged down to the street and shot.
Whoa, man! It was fucking successful movie from the '90s. We don't need to fucking kill people over it now.
Wait, what movie is it again?
The Broly one.
Broly one, yeah.
Fucking just like kill all of Pantera right now for that travesty.
No, the movie's good. I like
Yes.
Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan. It's one of the better Dragon Ball movies. But the baby crying thing was just like, come on, man.
It was just a little epic.
I guess it was just too epic for me.
Yeah.
That's
anyway,
all of Dragon Ball. It's just too epic for me.
Yeah, moving on.
I'm gonna go with unepic stuff like One Piece and Hunter x Hunter.
Moving on, we got the trailer for Spider-Man another trailer for Spider-Man.
God.
Now, I actually haven't been too excited for this for a while, even though everything looks great. It's just the animation is gorgeous, of course. And at the end of Venom, which, oh boy, we are going to talk about. Don't you worry your pretty little heads.
Does Venom and the guy fuck?
Do they? We'll figure that out later.
Let's not take away from Into the Spider-Verse.
But there was actually like a very long, like basically the second end credit scene of Venom, which is like 5 minutes from Into the Spider-Verse.
That's awesome. That's like probably the best reason to watch it.
Kind of. Well, wait. No, what are you talking about? Watch Venom. And it's a cinematic gold standard. But I think this trailer for Into the Spider-Verse is really capturing something special. Like, I don't like the concept of Spider-Verse. I think that's dumb.
Yeah.
And all these different realities, Spider-Man. Again, it's sort of into what I said. It gives Peter Parker this sort of grand sense of purpose and destiny, which I feel like undercuts his motivation a little bit. That's me. If they were just going to stay straight up, okay, Miles Morales Spider-Man movie, that would be an easier sell to me instead of, and Peter's going to be in it, and Gwen, and Spider-Ham, and dude, the
Spider-Noir,
right?
The Spider Evangelion.
Right. So, what did you guys think about the trailer? Because I know what I think, but what do you think?
This is okay. So
this is the most excited I've been for a Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 4.
I feel really bad because I'm gonna have to agree with them. I'm actually really excited. This looks like this has like the energy I've been like wanting from a Spider-Man movie. You know, like taking aside like the Spider-Verse stuff, which is like kind of hard to do, but I also feel like almost kind of the Spider-Verse stuff will be important, obviously, but I feel like this movie is going to be way more focused on Miles and his kind of journey. I feel like the Spider-Verse stuff is kind of being played up. The
Spider-Verse stuff seems like it's going to be the main plot, but it's not going to be like the emotional core of the movie.
Yeah, and this feels like fresh and new and something that I've been wanting to see from superhero movies and like and just kind of animation. Them going with a style like this kind of like intensive for an entire movie feels so like refreshing from the traditional Disney style.
Yeah. So. Do you think if this movie finds success, that Marvel and DC and possibly other comic book properties could possibly look into animation as a sort of like a cheaper alternative to the big budget superhero movies that we see?
Well, I think DC is already going to try.
Yeah, I feel like DC's been doing that for a while because they realized that, like, out of all of the superhero cartoons, they have most of the ones that people really like.
Yeah, and I feel like
they have the Timverse, they have Brave and the Bold, which is by far the best superhero cartoon ever made. Don't at me. Meanwhile, what does Marvel have? They have Earth's Mightiest Heroes and the Spider-Man cartoons. And X-Men. X-Men's good.
Yeah. And X-Men didn't really age very well. Sorry.
Probably true, but I hate you for that opinion.
Yeah.
Next they're gonna tell me that Generator Rex wasn't that good all along.
That's true, and that what you said was true, and it's also a terrible opinion.
Okay.
So, like...
Okay.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say, though? I feel like DC's been doing that, but Marvel has kind of ignored animation, in general.
I'm not talking about, like, the straight-to-DVD, like New 52, but it's animated. They've been doing for a while.
Oh no, I feel like the DC has been doing that, like Lego Batman and everything.
Oh yeah, Lego Batman's a good example. Yeah, I hope.
It's just also animation is very expensive a lot of the time.
Yeah, but it's less expensive than doing a fucking,
It's less expensive than a blockbuster.
Doing like $25 million,
But it's also, but you can also make it. It's like slower to make. You can't.
Yeah, you have a much longer production time. Like if the market changes when you're making an animated movie, like you're kind of shit out of luck.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that this could be a relatively untapped market in terms of viewership to these comic book movies. And even if I think, because like let's be honest, the superhero trend is going to fade out eventually.
I've finally begun feeling superhero fatigue this year.
I don't feel like it's not anytime soon, but like it's a movie trend. All movie trends go around, like leave at some point. It happened to westerns. It happened to fucking heist movies to an extent.
Heist movies. Rest in peace.
Yeah, trends die, and that's fine, and it's natural. Else will to make us all feel happy and special inside. But I'm thinking maybe even long after the Marvel movies sort of go away, or like not necessarily go away, but like stop being the de facto blockbusters of our era. I think that going for an animation route and targeting a younger demographic with superheroes is a smart play, and I hope we get to see that stick around for a little while.
Last thing, I think it's a real smart move on Sony's part to finally be unveiling like the start of their big cinematic universe with this movie, because like it's like a genius idea. You're setting up all these different universes, all these different main characters, all with like really nice voice actors who would probably love to be doing it. It's like a really smart idea to be hedging your bets on all this, and you can use the characters that everyone like loves since they're not being represented in animation currently. It's a really good idea that they're doing that. Yeah,
I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking mad that Penny Parker doesn't have the Spider-Man Evangelion suit. It fucking pisses me off. I'm super excited for this movie. It looks great. It looks like it's gonna be a really fun kids movie. Where the fuck is the Spider Evangelion? I'm really pissed the fuck off.
Like, fuck you, Guthrie.
No, like, actually, where the fuck is the Spider Evangelion? This isn't, like, some ironic thing for me. Like, you know how you, like, hyperfixate on something as, like, an ironic way to hate something? Like, no, this is genuinely pissing me the fuck off.
Honestly, if Spider-Man is not in this...
Spider-Man,
yeah, where the fuck is Spider-Man?
Probably actually tied up in Toei rights.
Yeah,
actually, like, Toei.
Literally, then just let Toei make... Honestly, just fuck off. Anyway, now moving from a lighthearted, fun kids Marvel property to the exact fucking opposite.
My city!
My city! I'm Daredevil. No, I'm Daredevil. There was a Daredevil trailer.
Remember when Kingpin fucking decapitated someone with a car door?
Oh yeah,
that was lit.
That was a long time ago.
Oh, it was.
That's like the freshest memory I have of Daredevil.
Yeah, okay. So Guthrie hasn't seen Daredevil, but basically...
I saw half of season 1, and I was like, this is lit, I'm gonna finish this season, and then I kind of didn't, because that's what happens to like every Netflix show I try to watch.
Did you see Defenders?
I've not seen Defenders. I saw half of Luke Cage. Same thing happened. Same with Jessica Jones. I never bothered with Iron Fist. Rest in peace.
What about Punisher?
Oh yeah, there was a Punisher show.
Oh, that answers my question. Anyway, okay. So essentially, at the end of I'm just gonna spoil it because it's been fucking forever. At the end of Defenders, rocks fall and dies. Matt, well, specifically Matt, quote unquote, dies, but then he's dead for like 15 seconds until he just wakes up and he's okay. I guess he survived the building falling on him. That's cool. So yeah, I'm interested to see how they comic book explain their way out of that one.
It was the power of the Iron. That's why Iron Fist. I'm not. Well, we're gonna get into this in the news probably like immediately after this, but Iron Fist is canceled to bring Daredevil back to life.
He sacrificed his show.
His
show took the bullet.
That makes me sad because I'm one of the few people who season 1 of Iron Fist, and I think even though season 2 got off to a rougher start, it definitely found its footing by the end, and I do think season an overall improvement. So I'm sad to see that go, but yeah, this Daredevil trailer is really edgy. I think it's smarter than like Titans edgy, which we'll get into.
Fuck Batman.
Fuck Batman.
Fuck Daredevil.
Yeah, I feel like that's a smarter show, but you know, at the same time, I mean, they're adapting a comic book storyline, correct?
Yeah, they are.
Well, it seems like they might be adapting a few.
Yeah, it seems. I assume there are some shots in here that makes me think they're going to do the more recent-ish storyline where Kingpin becomes mayor, which would be very interesting. I'm looking forward to this season. I'm probably against my better judgment. I'm not a big fan of Daredevil as a show. I think it has lots of really bad problems, but I don't know. I'm weirdly excited to watch this. The tone feels exactly the same to me. Yeah.
It feels like it actually feels like it's going a little bit further, you know?
Yeah.
Or at least Matt's going a little bit more
he's becoming more devilish.
Yeah, he's becoming more devilish. And you can see that by the promo material.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it will go. I'm looking forward to it. And I can't wait to see where it goes. All right, moving on to really edgy material coming out of DC this time. DC Universe has launched, and one of their flagship shows, of course, is Titans, which
came out today.
It's fucked up that you say Titans is the flagship show because literally everyone is excited for it just for fucking Young Justice.
Yeah.
Right?
Like Titans, like Young Justice is gonna come out, and we're gonna be like, all right, and now the real flagship show for DC Universe has come out, Young Justice.
Honestly, look, Dre, you're the only one of us who has and uses the service.
Yes.
Do you think it's worth the price? As it is now. As it stands now.
Almost.
Almost.
So there are okay. I was kind of skeptical about this when they announced it, but as they continue to explain the features of this like streaming service, it's kind of an incredibly good deal, or at least will be, because this gives you a wide selection of fucking basically for the entire Bruce Timm animated universe is just like on here.
Okay, that's actually already worth it.
Wow.
Well, the tons of DC movies and shows, nothing from the current universe, but you know, they're not. They'll probably add them at some point, and if they never do,
serious question: is Green Lantern on there?
No.
Fuck!
What the fuck?
Also, Dark Knight Rises isn't.
Fuck!
Speaking of Dark Knight Rises, literally.
Do we at least get Green Lantern the animated series?
No, which is probably my biggest what the fuck cartoon omission. they have plans that they are going to be releasing more, and I'm assuming they will. But this is
probably
definitely
be creating more.
Yeah, this right now it's like right now their film and cartoon selection is the most popular and well beloved stuff.
Is the Arrowverse stuff on there?
No, and I don't think it will be.
What? Okay.
Because CW.
Okay, I guess. Seems like there's a lot missing here.
I mean, all the cartoon movies that they've been making for like since what Superman Doomsday 2000, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, I believe the Burton movies are on here.
Wait! Quest for Peace, is Quest for Peace on there?
Quest for Peace is right there. Supergirl's on it. I just checked and Supergirl's on it.
The Supergirl movie?
Yes.
Oh hell yeah!
Do they have Catwoman?
The Linda Carter show and the Wonder Woman 70s movie.
Batman, not Tim Burton, Adam West Batman.
Not here yet, but will be being added. But okay, there's more to talk about than just us movies that aren't on.
Okay. Sorry. Continue.
This not only is that it's also trying to be a social media platform. So there's a bunch of
boy,
and it's actually, from what I can tell, pretty good so far. It's been basically a bunch of interconnected forums that people have been they seem well moderated. And from what I haven't gone fully into it, but from what I can tell, it's pretty active and pretty useful. Well, I've seen some good conversations going on. News segment for all DC stuff and shop. Here's the thing that I wasn't expecting though. You can get comic books on here, and they are slowly adding. They are adding hundreds of comic books, and that's where I feel like this service kind of excels. The variety. If you just enjoy DC content, this is the best place to just go and immerse yourself in the universe. You can go and just
DC universe.
Right now, it seems like they're adding stuff in kind of waves. So right now, all the comics that they're promoting are mostly Titans and Titans-related characters. So if you want to start reading Teen Titans or Nightwing or something like that, they're now's the time to start because they're adding a bunch of stuff. And the initial selection of comic books it's kind of lacking on everywhere else, but I'm assuming that's kind of how they're going to be playing it. They're going to be adding stuff based on whatever movie or show is being really popular right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I keep saying they have plans to add more stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I don't mean to ask this question again, but is Teen Titans 2006?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Good.
Oh, and
Fox Batman.
Oh, by the way, Constantine. If in turn the CW, Constantine.
CW Constantine. What about this? What about the? Keanu Reeves Constantine.
I haven't looked for it, but I will. I'll get back to you at the end of the show.
Okay.
But yeah, it's
let's just take 15 more minutes to just talk about what isn't on here. Dude, is the what's the Iceman's name again?
Which one?
Mr. Freeze?
Yeah, is the one Batman movie with George Clooney and Mr. Freeze, is that on there?
No. Batman.
God damn it!
Batman and Robin is the Schumacher.
But they do have the '90s Flash show.
Oh, cool!
That's actually cool.
And and Lois and Clark, the New Adventures of Superman, and Birds of Prey.
I was about to ask Birds of Prey. Yeah,
from the '90s.
Yeah.
But so right now, I think it's worth it for me just because I want to have all the Bruce Timm stuff alone. Will get me through the first couple months of this service.
Okay.
If you want to know, hey, is it worth buying now? It kind of depends. To me, I think it's worth it just because I get a bunch of the cartoons I want. I can have a nice place if I ever want to just rewatch Dark Knight or the Superman movies. I can do that. And it has a great selection of fucking Titans comics at the moment. But you might want, but I'd say if you're like on it, check on it by January. I have feelings they'll probably visit a service that is kind of iffy right now, but its potential is really great. So I'd say keep an eye on it. And if you're just kind of holding out for a couple more comic series or a couple more like movies to be added, they will, especially on the movie front. There's not like DC has a big selection, but it ain't that bad. With their monthly updates, they will eventually get to the point where I'm sure almost everything that they can get on here will be. So I don't know. I'd say if you're a real big DC fan, just get it. It's $8 a month, and you can cut down on a lot of like comic purchasing. Mm-hmm. Just by getting this. So
okay. Yeah, well, we'll see how this shakes out once the platform develops a little more.
Haven't watched Titans yet. I will. You'll check my Twitter if you want to know my thoughts.
You better believe it. Anyway, so moving on to more DC news. This is the funniest thing I've heard all month. Honestly.
Oh, this is so epic.
This is so epic. James Gunn, the quote-unquote disgraced director of Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, former, spearhead of the Marvel of the cosmic aspect of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, has just signed on with DC to write and direct Suicide Squad 2.
So this is a Moses story. Actually, he was being all in line to become the Prince of Egypt, right? Right, and then he accidentally killed like slave, and he felt bad, and then he had to run away, and he's in the desert, and then he meets the gypsies, and then they sing the songs. I only know the Moses story through Prince of Egypt, and then he comes back and he's like, "Let my people go," the "let my people go," like the coming back part still hasn't happened, but he's going to just become like ruler of like the gypsies.
I guess.
Yeah. DC are the gypsies, and Moses is going to be like leading them. He's going to find God, okay, and he's going to lead DC, lead all the other DC people left at Marvel over the river. This metaphor doesn't really work now that I'm like figuring it out.
Okay. It's also probably going to like age pretty horribly if on the off chance it turns out it was fired for like actually doing something really horrible.
Oh yeah, then I guess yeah. If James Gunn,
if you turn out to have actually been Me Too'd, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I hope Suicide Squad fails, but otherwise I'm gonna fucking watch Suicide Squad 2.
With Dave Bautista starring as Bane.
Honestly.
Seriously, best casting since Tom Hardy as Bane.
Oh yeah, he did that. He was that.
I was rewatching some fucking scenes from Dark Knight Rises the other day.
It didn't age well, did it?
No, they really don't.
Literally, I turned on the TV because at my college we get free cable if you just like screw the cable into the TV. I turned it on. The first thing I see is the crashing this plane with no survivors scene from Dark Knight Rises, and I'm like, oh my god, it's a meme scene. And then I like hit a moment of lucidity where like the meme like left my spirit for a bit, and I was like, the fuck is the scene? What? I'm a big guy for you? What?
No survivors. Yes.
With
anyway.
No, brother. They'll expect one of us in the wreckage.
Can I just say this? If DC were looking for their Kevin, for their like the brains behind their operation, they found it.
Yeah,
they found the guy.
Like
actually, though,
like this is how you fucking play the game.
Yeah,
if you actually want to go blow for blow with Marvel Studios. Stealing one of their,
stealing one of their top talents that everyone likes, and putting him in charge of the movie where the previous one everyone universally hated is such a power move.
It's such a power, and it's also they threw him out. It's like it's like a kid. Basically, it's like a kid throwing out his favorite toy in the garbage. Then the little brother runs up and grabs it, and it's like, "This is mine now because you threw it out." And then the older kid is like, "No, I want that back now because."
Yeah, it's and also think about how much like this will improve DC's like image in terms of like the internet fanboy crowd.
Oh my god! I mean, those guys won't shut the fuck up anyway. I say that as one of them. So,
like, this is how you get people actively rooting for you.
Yeah.
This is how you get people giving you more coverage and encouraging their audiences to pay money, because you get the guy that they all loved. Man, this is actually just the period on this like terrible fucking story about this idiotic firing.
Yeah.
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 I still think there was like more to the firing. Like, either there's the off chance that he did something so terrible that Disney, the company that still hires the Pixar rapist guy, and Johnny Depp would fire him.
Oh, no,
yeah. Or he got on some producer's bad side, and the producer is like, "Okay, then you're fired."
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. They fucking caved to the internet troll that were.
I feel like that was kind of. I feel like that was kind of an excuse. Like, there has to have been something going on earlier for them to just throw out one of their.
We're not talking about
directors.
this.
We're not okay. We shouldn't talk.
Yeah, let's not talk about this. But I feel like there was more going on. But regardless, unless if it turns out that's like actually he did something terrible, which is surprising for Disney, which still keeps Johnny Depp on its fucking payroll.
Confirmed for Fantastic Beasts today, for Fantastic Beasts 3 today, by the way.
But no, that's Warner Brothers. That's Warner Brothers. That's the same guys that's the same guys that hired James.
I'm just saying the man's still getting a bunch of work like Johnny Depp.
Yeah, fuck Johnny Depp. And it doesn't matter anyway, because there's the far worse thing of John Lasseter at Pixar.
I thought he was fired.
No, he's still actually working at Pixar.
Fuck.
They forced him to take an unpaid 6-month vacation, and he was like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't realize that I was actually a sex pest. I'm gonna go take some time to think," and like, really, he's just gonna come back.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
unrelated, but I'm so fucking happy that James Gunn is doing Suicide Squad 2 now.
Yeah, it'll be good this time. Anyway,
It turns Suicide Squad 2 from, like, this movie is already preemptively making me exhausted to, like, oh, fuck, I gotta see this.
Yeah, moving on to some more interesting news from the Marvel side of not the Marvel Studios side. Sony released the greatest film ever made in the history of ever.
Spider-Man 4.
No, yes, actually, but instead of Tobey Maguire, we got the best actor working today, Tom Hardy, who should be cast in more roles, not less. I liked the part when they kept cutting away from the gory violence in Venom, where they were just being like, here's a giant monster eating someone's head off, but we're just going to pan over. The camera's literally going to pan over to the scared reaction shot and not the actual interesting thing happening on screen. I also like Tom Hardy puking a lot. And, you really didn't think, when you first watched that movie, you think, should we cut the Tom Hardy eating chicken out of the garbage scene? But then you're like, no, we should leave that in. That really characterizes this film. And honestly, it pays off.
I'm sick of memeing. Is this what? How did you feel about this fucking movie?
It was so shit. It was so shit. I actually enjoyed it. Look, here's the thing. If you go into this movie with the same mindset that I did, just really, really hoping to see a shit movie, you're not gonna leave disappointed. It's bad. But it's also sort of just like stupid, dumb fun that I really can't. If someone went into this and said, "Yeah, I liked it," I can't blame you. I think I'll have some questions for you, but I can't really blame you. Yeah, it was so weird and disjointed. and we got Venom with boobs for some reason. That was just like...
Dude, you should have told me that. I gotta fucking see this movie now.
No, it happens for like 5 seconds, and then it's like, why was that there? Oh, wait, boobs. Because, like, Venom, the symbiote gets onto Venom's girlfriend, or his ex-fiancée, I guess, because Eddie Brock...
Oh, yeah, this is the scene where he kisses Venom, right?
Yeah! He kisses... Them and Venom make out, and Venom goes into...
Tom Hardy.
And then, okay, the funniest bit in the whole movie was there was, like, a brief moment when, basically, Venom was like, okay, Venom got stabbed real bad. Tom Hardy got stabbed by Riz Ahmed, and so Riz Ahmed's blasting off into space on his rocket, right? Yes, and because they've confirmed that Venom has two weaknesses: fire and sound, and like high frequency sound. Let me shit you not. The actual way that they reference this was, oh, so sound waves is like his kryptonite. They say kryptonite in the movie. So
that's actually, though, like, I unironically really fuck with that energy.
It was like, so is DC canon? Is
Yes.
this in the DC universe? Because it feels like a DC movie than a Marvel movie. I feel like Venom is in the same universe as Aquaman. Really?
No, Aquaman is in the Kamen Rider universe.
Exactly.
It really is.
Oh man.
I'm actually unironically excited for Kamen Rider Black Manta. Anyway, continue.
Oh, we didn't talk about Black Manta. Black Manta was great. Anyway. Yeah. So this movie was so bizarre. I can't help but feel like I want to see this movie at least 5 more times to really let it. It was bad. It was unequivocally shit. But if you go into the expecting shit and being anticipated for shit and enjoying the shit that is presented, that's not bad. So yeah, that's my 50 cents, $10 million, because I'm so invested in the fucking movie for some reason, just to meme on Jré.
Carroll, I'm so glad you finally understand why I love Monster Truck so much.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Really mad that movie only had a week in theaters, because I legitimately would have seen it every day of that week if I had the money. Don't worry, it's not like I was funding bad movies. It was a tax write-off before it came out.
Okay. Fuck.
Well,
anyway. But like the more dubious implications of this movie has to do with the fact that this is the kickoff to the Sony-Marvel Universe.
bro, I thought they were doing that shit with Into the Spider-Verse. What? I thought that was the... I just praised them for being so smart with their business strategies earlier.
No.
Are you saying that shit's not true? Why would you do that?
No.
Why would you do that?
No,
okay.
They're not smart. It's Venom. It's Venom.
Okay. So at least like what characters are they doing for this universe?
They are doing Morbius the Vampire.
Quality. Huh?
Morbius the Vampire starring Jared Leto.
That's a choice.
Kraven the Hunter starring We Don't Know.
Why?
A Silver Sable and Black Cat movie that got canceled and split into 2 separate Silver Sable and Black Cat respective solo movies.
Just hearing Jré's noises of confusion.
And I'm pretty sure, what was the name? Jackpot? Isn't there going to be a Jackpot movie? Yeah, they said there's going to be a Jackpot movie.
Bro, but
where the fuck is the Shocker movie?
But Jackpot only appeared in fucking like 13 comic books ever.
Yep. Movie.
What?
This makes no sense. Give my boy Shocker some screen time.
Okay.
The world is ready for Shocker.
All right. So, can you answer one simple question for me?
I will do my best.
Why? Because the answer isn't money.
It's not money.
Because no one in their right mind is spending money on a Kraven the Hunter movie. What investor is going to fucking go all in on a Morbius the Vampire movie? Who? Who's raising their goddamn stock in a company that's making a Morbius the Living Vampire movie in 2018?
Fucking Amy Pascal is convinced that this is money, that this is gold. Avi Arad.
Who is Jackpot?
We're criticizing this now, but as soon as Sony perfects their time travel machine to travel back to 1998 and release all of these movies, we're gonna feel like the real idiots. Like they're just gonna retroactively release Morbius the Living Vampire right next to Spawn, and we're all gonna be like, yeah, remember that?
That shit was epic.
That shit was so epic.
I got it.
Like, you know, in the DVD case at the supermarket, you see all of the Hellboy movies, and you see Kraven the Hunter. Like that's Sony's business plan, is to travel back in time pre-Marvel and put all of these movies out.
Like, okay, I was joking earlier about not knowing about this shit, but it's like, it really doesn't make any sense. Like, I get it. Animation takes long and is expensive. But it also, animated kids films are some of the highest or the second most highest profiting movies in Hollywood. They make so much fucking money. You know why there's so many shitty kids movies that get released?
Dude, they just print money. The Nut Job 2, it's a fucking bank.
Because what the fuck shuts up Kyle for fucking an hour and a half?
Exactly.
And then,
are you gonna,
the Nut Job 2.
Are you gonna get Logan to take it to his fucking cheery?
Like
the next Despicable Me?
Like, imagine, like, and you get merchandising. If you just made a Spider-Gwen animated movie, that character makes thousands of fucking dollars like every week, and she's in a comic book, and like only 3 people read them, and one of them's me. So like, just off merchandise.
But that is a sweet hoodie, though.
She really is. She really is.
Sweet hoodie. Fuck Spider-Gwen, but that is.
But
that
like,
is a sweet hoodie.
This idea makes no sense. No one's passionate about making these. Nobody wants to make these, and no one wants to purchase this. This is just, it's wasteful. It's wasteful energy. People aren't doing anything.
I'll tell you what it is. It's there that, because like they released like these statements. We have over 3,500 Marvel characters to choose from. Yeah, because they're all shit, and everybody knows they're all shit. And just because, you know, the other company across the pond is making these, you know, giant blockbuster movies about these obscure characters that you never heard, doesn't mean that these obscure characters, you know, that you can, you know, pull out of the ass of like one Spider-Man issue back in 1960 is gonna make you $1 million.
Yeah, there's a reason why fucking no Robin Hood movie in the last 20 years have fucking done well. You want to know why? It's because people don't fucking care about Robin Hood, actually. It turns out we just don't fucking care.
Yeah, remember the King Arthur movie? No. It was supposed to kick off a 6-film franchise.
Yeah, but no.
Dude, remember the public domain horror monsters cinematic universe?
Oh yeah,
where it was like Frankenstein and Dracula and the Invisible Man.
No. That wasn't the royalty free, because Universal owned them.
Oh yeah.
Universal still owns those. The Dark Universe, as they.
And by the way, I bet that more people would go and see more. Actually, I don't need to bet. I know more people would see a Creature of the Black Lagoon movie than fucking Silver Sable. You want to know why? Because Shape of Water came out and people fucking lost their shit for it. There are certain things that are inherently interesting to people. People like, say, Spider-Man or a Guillermo del Toro movie. There are certain things that the general public just doesn't fucking care about. Like, say, The Mummy or fucking Jackpot.
while you're talking about Creature from the Black Lagoon, I want them to make a Swamp Thing movie just to piss off everyone.
Then you should buy the DC streaming service because they are making a fucking Swamp Thing live action show with James Wong doing it.
Wait,
What?
Seriously?
Yes.
That's a great idea.
How the fuck have I not heard about this? But I know about fucking Gotham City Sirens.
Shit seems fucking epic. They have like casting. They're filming it right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I could be an extra.
Yeah, legitimately, and like, I love how we're like, how Sony's like, we need to kick off this great franchise. We already got time. We're gonna make a Morbius the Vampire movie. I know. Let's get the guy who bombed his Joker in Suicide Squad so hard that they ditched him and got a new guy to be in the fucking the Scorsese produced movie.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
They kicked him out because they're doing a Joker movie with a good actor.
Listen, and not
only is a good actor, but not in this way.
We're also going. It'll look really nice to reject Bane. Our entire fucking universe is built on fucking Batman villains who failed.
Right? What is happening?
We live in a society where we're going to get Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man and in them, starring Batman villains who failed.
I hate everything in life.
Keep in mind, Sony canceled the Popeye movie for this.
Y'all know.
They kept Gendy Tartakovsky, who was going to direct Popeye. He was so excited about directing Popeye that DC approached him and told him that he could make a Superman short film. They had the money set aside. He's like, no, I'm about to start Popeye. I won't have time to work on two things. And then they canceled it for this.
Anyway.
So, you want to know the only thing that's more depressing than this fucking story?
What?
Telltale.
Thank you! I wasn't even gonna go with that segue. Damn, you should host.
Yeah, Telltale's dead, Obsidian is dead. And they're not dead, Microsoft bought them. But Telltale, they're fucking dead.
Yeah. I'm sad about this.
Everyone got fired.
And being sued.
I wanted they're being sued too? Oh, rip that.
Yeah, they're being sued by the former workers because they're alleging that Telltale broke a ton of employment laws.
Yeah, well,
you were
not telling them that they were bankrupt and like going out of business soon and like not getting severance packages and stuff.
All their employees found out that Telltale was going under when they came in that morning and were told it had 30 minutes to pack up all their shit.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some people had been hired. Some people, by the way, had been hired that week.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah. Fucking good. Okay, here's what I'll say. On a content standpoint, this is bullshit. How are they not gonna finish Walking Dead? B, how am I not gonna get season 3 of Batman? Why? Fuck, dude. I spent too much money on the dumb point and clicks to not get a satisfying ending.
Well, I guess you just won't.
I feel like an idiot.
Deal with it, man.
I feel like an idiot for buying into this crap.
It's so fucking like this company had such a good I know not start, but yeah, it was a start. Walking Dead was the start of Telltale as we know it. So
yeah, fuck Sam and Max actually.
Yeah.
That fucking dumbass rabbit.
Yeah, if you like Sam and Max, you're a stupid idiot.
Yeah, Sam and Max are both dumb fucking idiots, and so is Strong Bad.
Exactly.
And Back to the Future.
Strong Bad is bad. You take that back, you son of a. No.
In their current incarnation, it started with Walking Dead. They did shit before, but Walking Dead made so much money.
Yeah, and it's
they're halfway through the final. They couldn't quite make it to the finish.
The problem with Telltale is that they were the company got new management, and they saw all that Walking Dead money, and they just said, okay, well, let's just do Walking Dead with everything.
Yeah, they just began buying every IP. Remember Telltale Game of fucking Thrones?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, Minecraft, which actually made them money.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these licensed IPs, they went after it didn't really make them money because IPs are expensive and game development is expensive. And I'm not gonna lie, Telltale is kind of a niche audience.
Yeah. They went too big, too fast.
They overextended. They got too ambitious and they flew too close to the sun.
That's also why they kept using the same fucking engine for years, because they were too busy doing IPs to like take people away from engine dev.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a damn shame, I think.
And then it's such a shame too, because like they brought in a guy who like really tried to put the company together, but was just too little, too late.
Well,
and I know like the guy they brought in, the current CEO, he's also a fuckboy, but at least he tried to like save the company.
Yeah, but if you want to get like the same people, if you want to like experience, the like magic of like Walking Dead, all the people, or at least the writers of it, moved on, and they made a studio that made a Firewatch. His name escapes me at the moment.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the studio. They actually got bought by Valve recently.
Oh,
yeah, Campo Santo. They're a part of Valve right now.
That's interesting.
Yeah, in fact, their next game is gonna be the first new Valve game, first retail price Valve game that's gonna release since like fucking Portal 2.
Valve. I can't.
Wait, no. Never mind. I just remembered. There's Counter-Strike. That's technically a retail game.
Oh, I guess.
Even though it's $15. But yeah, actually, fuck Valve.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said they're finally making games again, and then they bought Campo Santo, and they're like, yeah, that next game from them, Valley of the Gods, that's a Valve game now. We're making games, guys.
See, that counts.
Actually. No, it's actually really weird, because Valve fucking doesn't buy studios.
Yeah. That's bizarre. I'm surprised I never heard about that. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is free? What?
Oh yeah, I think they made it free in China or something.
Anyway, look, I think it's a shame to see this go. And here's the thing.
It's just sad.
Telltale was such a niche market that I honestly don't, and because a lot of those people, the people who worked at Telltale have gotten a job offer since the company went under. So I really don't see anything stepping up to take that niche anywhere. I feel like this is sort of the not sort of the end of an era, but it's sort of the end of the genre point and click adventures being in the mainstream, and having a big studio to back.
Yeah, like Telltale was like really the second, was kind of the last hurrah of point and clicks. Like LucasArts did them and did really well with them, but eventually point and clicks failed the first time, and then Telltale came along and did their thing for a while, and now they're kind of gone, and that's kind of, I mean, they a lot of the point and click stuff has just like moved on to walking sims.
Yeah.
I'll choose to stay more optimistic. There's a lot of.
I'm sure there's going to be people who are going to come along and do it again. Like that's what happened with Lucasfilm. So
we've gotten a lot of good point and clicks, even though they have been like on the indie scene. But I feel like
like fucking Broken Age.
We don't talk about Broken Age. We really don't. We don't talk about
I'm gonna, every time people mention point and clicks, I'm gonna mention fucking Broken Age. I paid full price for that.
We're not talking about Broken Age. It doesn't fucking exist. Sorry, you wasted your time, Guthrie. It's not my fault.
I just checked my Steam library. You're right. I have no idea what fucking Broken Age even is anymore.
Why?
But
it just says I spent $30 on nothing.
Look,
like Oxenfree and Night in the Woods. Those are pretty high profile indie point and clicks, which I think are going to be starting leading the genre into another age.
Yeah, probably.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, moving on. Gonna introduce our brand new segment. Yes.
I gotta get ready, guys. Oh,
fuck was that?
That was me drum rolling.
Epic.
Don't do that ever again. Horrible.
Yeah. Next time I'm gonna get the drumsticks.
No. Anyway, don't worry. Guthrie's Hot Takes is not gone. It's just taking a little break this month. It will be back and spicier than ever. But in the meantime,
it will be back when I beat Broken Age.
Exactly. So it's gone forever then. No. We'll be right back. Until then, here's Dre with Dre's Comic Corner presented by Comic Rider. Dre, take it away.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dre's Comic Corner. And today we're going to be talking about Runaways 2017. This is the long-awaited return of the cult classic comic book team created by Brian K. Vaughan. And while they're no longer under the pen of the original creator, Rainbow Rowell and Chris Sankey do a fantastic job of aging the lovable cast of troublesome teenagers into not-so-responsible adults. The true genius of this book is capturing the spirit of the original series, but also examining what bringing Runaways back in 2017 even means at this point. With all the characters aged and finally able to forge their own path for the first time ever, what does being a runaway mean to them? Runaways is one of the best slice of life comics that I've read in a long time, and I would recommend it to anyone, even if you haven't read a single issue of Runaways before in your life. Go check it out.
Oh, wow. I can't believe Dre had that thing. If you want to hear more about Dre's comic book opinions and knowledge, you can go to comiccritical.tumblr.com to hear more. All right. Moving on to our recommendation segment. We're going to start off with Guthrie. Guthrie, what did you bring this month?
All right, so this month, what I brought to show and tell was Anime of the Year 2016, Thunderbolt Fantasy. I think I've already shielded this once on the podcast, but I'm going to do it again because the second season is coming out at the time of recording, and it just kicks ass. So Thunderbolt Fantasy is basically you take Gen Urobuchi, he did Madoka Magica, he did Psycho-Pass, he did all that. Mm-hmm. And you put him in charge of kung fu puppets and tell him to make a kung fu show. Okay. And it's actually really fucking kick-ass.
Okay, once again, this is exactly the same thing as the Guthrie was on the show. I have no idea what this is, so I'm really excited.
So it's basically like a psychodrama about Muppets beating the shit out of each other.
What?
It doesn't have the psychodrama part. It's just puppets beating the shit out of each other.
So it's getting Urobuchi fucking tame? Like he's chilling out?
Actually, kind of, yeah. There's the thing with Thunderbolt Fantasy is Gen Urobuchi puts all of his subversive talents to specifically trying to subvert kung fu movies, and nothing else. He kind of just took the backseat to this one, which is fine because the other main partners in this are Peely Puppetry, which is a Taiwanese puppet company. They make the most popular show in Taiwan, also called Peely, which is also about kung fu puppets. Because it turns out that Urobuchi and Peely are fans of each other's work, and Peely fucking knows how to do puppets beating the shit out of each other. That's what they've been doing for the past 30 years. So what I really like about Thunderbolt Fantasy is it's basically 90% practical, and it's really well shot. You can see how clever they get with the fight scenes, because if you make puppets try to fight each other normally, it looks really fucking stupid.
So is this just unironic Team America?
That's probably the best comparison, but it's not stop motion.
Okay.
It's all basically you have these really elaborate wooden puppets. A guy puts them on. It's like a hand puppet, and then they begin, doing a kung fu action drama.
Interesting. They play it straight though.
No, it's actually kind of it's weird because it is kind of deconstructive and subversive, but for the genre. But it also plays it really straight. It's a weird show.
Huh.
I feel like it's kind of hard to talk about it because what I really like about it is mostly spoilers. Gee, just like last time I shilled a show on here.
It's fine. It's okay.
But basically, I feel like the best thing to do with it is literally episode 1 is free on Crunchyroll with ads, You can watch that, see if it interests you. But it's just something that's always been really worth checking out, and not enough people talk about it. They just write it off as oh yeah, it's that weird puppet show with Urobuchi. But it is that weird puppet show with Urobuchi, but it's also really cool. Also, the Attack on Titan composer did all the music.
Oh shit, that's great.
Yeah. And they deadass have anime openings, but with puppets.
Oh,
same shots, same style. Jumping at each other with all of that. Fighting in wheat fields or whatever. But it's all puppets.
The same sort of the sideways.
Yeah, the sideways faces crossing. They do that, but it's with puppets.
Ah, yes.
I might have to mark out.
And if you hate puppets, you have a disgusting fear of puppets. Let's say a haunted puppet killed your family when you were 5, so you hate them. It also has a manga. I'm not sure if the manga's good or not, but I do know the manga did all of the things that they can't do with puppets, like a hot tub scene.
Oh, you can do a hot tub scene with puppets.
You really can't.
Yeah, you can. You've never wanted to see some puppet titties?
I'm not going to say no.
Actually, though, it's hilarious about the manga because there's one character that's apparently really busty, but you can't do that with puppets. But why? I can assure you, they take full advantage of that in the manga.
That's
you read the manga, you're gonna deadass see some giant demon titties.
Oh,
I'm fucking hyped. Time I can start reading.
But it's not a robot, Jré. It's not your fantasy.
How the fuck does Scott know about this? Oh wait, he was in the same room. That really fucking spooked me, Scott. For those not in the, if you're listening to this later, Scott was just puppet yiddies, which is yeah.
That's
I want the demon chick from Thunderbolt Fantasy to turn me inside out and use my guts to summon a demon lord.
Fucking chill. Anyway,
But yeah, anyway, Thunderbolt Fantasy, watch it. Also, the second season is coming out, and it's really fucking good. It builds on the first season in a really interesting way, but that's all spoilers.
I just saw a bunch of My Little Pony fan art for this show. I think it's time to stop Googling it.
Yeah, time to chill off the internet. Jré,
why did you have to tell me about this, Jré? I thought this show was good specifically because there wasn't that.
Well, guess you're gonna have to go back into the drawing.
So I'm gonna kill myself now.
Oh, good lord.
Anyway,
Jré, what did you bring?
So what I brought is kind of a specific show, but also kind of not that all. Basically, I've decided this year is going to be the year I get back into Kamen Rider, but for realsies. See, as a kid, I discovered Kamen Rider the franchise, but I never really watched it because, first of all, how you watch Kamen Rider is through torrents. I didn't know how to use those.
I still don't know how to use torrents.
Yeah, and also subs are scary. But now that I'm a big boy and that I'm not afraid of fucking subs anymore, or I finally decided to take the plunge and watch a random Kamen Rider series, Kamen Rider X-Aid, which is about being a doctor and curing people's illnesses through playing video games.
Oh.
So
Gamers.
I decided that was perfect for 2018, which is, as we all know, the year of the gamer.
It is the year of the gamer.
And so the story is about this young doctor. His name is Emma, and he became a doctor because travel sucks. He was sick, and a doctor cured him.
Wait, a dude named Emma?
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, Carroll.
Yes, my name's Carroll. Carroll is okay with having a woman's name. It's not a problem.
Just listen to that one Johnny Cash song, "A Boy Named Sue."
Sue,
your name is actually badass.
I love that song.
You would.
It got played so much in my house as a kid because it was my dad trying to convince me it wasn't that bad.
That's epic. So, where was okay? Yeah, so this kid was real sick, And then his doctor cures him, and then hands him a video game, and he's like, become a doctor. Also, video games are cool. Flash forward like a couple decades, or a decade, and he is a young doctor who, through first episode mishappenings, ends up being introduced to a secret organization of doctors who cure their a special video game related virus that infects normal people and then turns them into monsters. Because this is a tokusatsu show. So Emma, since he is the pro gamer G, becomes the greatest video game Kamen Rider out there. And proceeds to battle monsters through his city, and of course he has a fucking snooty rival Kamen Rider who doesn't like him and thinks he's unorganized. And there's all these other Kamen Riders who also take their video games way too seriously. And there's kind of building, and it's all about this like conspiracy about a game developer who's intentionally making this virus. You see, this show's kind of hard to knock. It's kind of hard to not make this sound like the dumbest shit ever. And so I guess I'll just get out of something. Yeah. Basically, what I like about this show is Tokusatsu has this charm about it. It's very, very much kind of the best kids show you never watched as a kid.
Yeah.
It has this charm to it where all the characters are incredibly earnest. They say what they mean, and the morals are like pure. But it also has this like edge to it that it even though it knows it's silly, and that you probably are having a hard time taking this video game doctor related melodrama seriously. It still makes sure it does. It takes itself seriously, but it doesn't really require you to take it serious. And that's kind of what gives it its charm in my eyes. Almost every single episode has a moment where they look to you and they go, "Hey, you aren't taking this seriously. Fuck you for that. This shit is real. This person's feeling emotions. You should feel with them," and it kind of wins you over. It's a really interesting. It builds like a really interesting relationship with the viewer, where the show will often like talk to you about and kind of almost scold you about how you're not getting invested in them, and it weirdly works.
Wow, that's really meta, but also great.
It's
more shows should do that.
Yes, they really should. But XA, it certainly has a lot of its issues. It's a little too. There are points where it gets too silly for its own good, and the like genre. It gets hard to invest in the actual drama that is in the show, because it does have it. There are good character moments throughout this entire like show. Oh, but the show kind of just moves a little too fast for its own good.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it has the kind of same as Tokusatsu, which is incredible suit designs and incredible choreography in those suits. I've never seen people wear so much shit on them and move so agilely. But the people in Toei or at Toku are like masters of fucking practical suit designs. Like, if you ever wanted to like be angry at all the Batman suits we've been getting over the years, just watch some Toku shit and then see what a practical suit can look like and how the actors can move in it, and then just like watch any fight scene in Dark Knight Rises, and you'll be real mad. But yeah, that's my kind of just telling you about my first excursion back into Kamen Rider.
Sweet. All right. Is that around it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This actually reminds me. I don't think Ronnie's been watching any Kamen Rider because he refuses to pirate anything ever. But he's been watching a shit ton of Ultraman lately. Like, everyone I know is getting into tokusatsu. It's just like when everyone is getting into wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck whoever did that.
Speaking of wrestling, I brought something wrestling related because, if you know me, I'm a wrestling fan. I'm not very secretive about it like I used to be.
Wrestling is so in 2018.
It's not. It's so not. You don't know.
But listen, dude, I was at the school library and there was some chick watching New Japan wrestling.
That's epic. Give her my number.
Exactly.
But she left before I told you. Otherwise, I would have been like, "Hey, babe, follow at Jré Best on Twitter.com." He also watches New Japan, except he doesn't.
I do.
Except you don't.
I do. I was watching it literally earlier today.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Now. So I'm a wrestling fan, and what do you like more than wrestling? Playing wrestling games. It's too bad that so many of them have been shit. I have gone, if you're on the Discord, I've gone on multiple tirades about how dissatisfied I am with the WWE 2K games and how just lifeless they feel. But fuck me, they actually got one right this time. Like, honestly, WWE 2K18 or 19, it's 19 now, Jesus, is really, really good. They fixed it. They fixed it. They got rid of all those stupid quality of life issues. There's a story mode that's actually narratively engaging and good and interesting, and I like it. And I could gush about this game forever, even though I'm not done with the story mode yet. But instead of having a mute character where there's no story aspects involved, there's voice acting by some of the actual wrestlers. And admittedly, some of the actual wrestlers aren't that good at voice acting, but it's nice to hear them. Yeah, and you get a main character with this weird backstory about how your father died, but he supported your dream to be a wrestler, and there's made up characters, and there's so many cool Easter eggs to the old games, because one of the main antagonists of the last couple story modes was a guy called Baron Blade. Now Baron Blade sucks. He's annoying and had no personality whatsoever because he was a insert character in a 2K game. But in this game, when there's voice acting and characterization, he's like a retired WWE star who's now running the indie promotion that you work for. And there's so many cool indie references. There's a time they're not allowed to name them by name, of course, but you go to the Hammerstein Ballroom that that was the home of ECW. You go to the Tokyo Dome. They call it the Dome, but it's the Tokyo Dome, and they call it that. And they make references, and there's little dialogue things below where they talk about the two sweet hand gesture, and they vaguely reference the Bullet Club, and it's this is a lot of not just WW. It's not just a WWE game. It's the people who wrote this are clearly wrestling fans. Fans of just pro wrestling as a whole, and it really shines through this time. And I'm so glad that they managed to create the my career experience that they always wanted to. I feel like they've always been trying to get at something like this, but they haven't been able to until now. And it's really great. There's a showcase mode. Showcase mode you can play through entire ups and downs of the WWE of Daniel Bryan, which is a very interesting story. It's not done yet. It's really interesting.
May I ask about the roster?
The roster is better than it's been for a long time. There's some notable omissions. Tommaso Ciampa's not in the game. Nikki Cross isn't in the game. Mick Foley's not in the game. But
what?
I mean, yeah. But honestly, if you're really invested in those, go on to the online store and download them from the Creator Wrestler suite. It's not hard. And a lot of the Here's the thing. If there's one downside to the game, it's the downside of all 2K games. They're scummy for your DLC money. They're not content with taking your $60 and patting you on the back and letting you go play. No. From the instant you loaded up the game, I had to buy their $5 unlock everything DLC. because I just wasn't going to be able to experience the game in a full way. And I'm not, and I'm going to have to buy their. I guess I didn't get the season pass because I'm stupid. Also, I didn't have the money at the time. But no, I didn't get the season pass, and so I'm not going to have access to so they have the my player accelerator pack, where basically you can be like, hey, all of the dumb bullshit limitations and loot boxes that you have to get in order to advance in my career mode. Yeah, we're just getting rid of those. We're basically you just get rid of those, and you get to make a super broken character right from the start. Not like super broken, but like something that's more customizable. Like they lock all the customization, like most of the customization options off, and hide them behind loot boxes, which sucks and scummy. But it's 2K, and I don't really. It's not the fault of Geeks or the actual game developers. It's a 2K thing.
How is 205 Live? I've been curious about this. Are they represented at all?
Yes. They're represented more than they were last night. Lindsay Dorado's. Lindsay got in this year. Yeah. Basically, most of the 205 Live roster is there. Most of NXT. Well, I'm not gonna say most of NXT is there because. But a lot of NXT is coming, which is exciting. And here's the thing. I enjoyed 2K17 because it was my first 2K game, and I was like, oh, this is good. I can play as wrestling. And then 2K18 came. I was really disappointed in 2K18. It wasn't a fun experience. The customization options hadn't gotten better, and it just felt really lackluster. But this game is really, really fun, and like all these games do, it's going to be outdated in a few. Characters change, people get fired, and gimmicks evolve. But I'm really looking forward to playing this game throughout and seeing where it ends up. And I hope that this continues into future iterations of the game. But at least I'll always have this one. All right, that's it for this episode of the Geeks by Gaslight Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Special thanks to our producers, Dre Beth and Ronnie Diaz, for making this show possible. Thanks to Guthrie Schooner, our lead editor, and thank you to Jack Wardemer for helping design the thumbnail. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment, follow us on Twitter, and join our Discord. The link will be down in the description below, and be sure to keep it locked right here for brand new episodes every single month. But until then, take it easy, nerds.